is everyone today? Just heading on into work near Kingston on the A3, 10 to 10. So last week was good. Ended up going to Polo in the Park on Friday with Jason Gale, who runs the London Lifestyle Awards, and Jason took his little miniature poodle, Scarlet. So as you can imagine, this little dog, Jesus Christ, it was like walking around with David Beckham. The women were flocking around to see this little dog. Unbelievable. We turned up about 6 o'clock. It's been going on since 12 o'clock. So when we turned up, everyone was hammered. Everyone was in the party mood, and we've turned up like normal with this little dog. And Jesus Christ, I need to get myself a miniature poodle because, wow, excellent stuff. So yeah, we stayed there and had a few drinks, and that really ended about 9 o'clock. So yeah, everyone goes to the local pubs in Fulham, and there was like thousands of people heaving. Then yeah, so we did that, and then I went home early. I had a busy day Saturday. I had to go see my mama and see how she is. She's sort of 85 years old this year, so she's getting on, but she's well, she's fit, and I try and see her at least once a week, and I try and take my daughter around there as well. But Jemima, as I've said before, she's a terrible teen, and always moody. And when I usually take her around to see Nan, she always on her bloody phone, these kids. You know, Nan asks to speak to her and she just on her phone all the time. So bloody rude. How do you lot cope with your children with mobiles? You know, I'm all for the generation on mobile phones and learning the skill, because, you know, learning this technology is crucial for anyone. You know, I say to Jemima, you know, start working on their own brand, because years ago, you know, she's 15 coming up this year. 4 years ago, when she first started to do Insta, she had a page and it was all about pastel colours, and it was going really well, you know, and all she put on there was images of items or clothing in pastel shades of colours, and it was getting some traction. And if I knew what I do know now about social media and branding and marketing, Jesus, I would have made her keep up with it, because I think she just switched the account off or deleted it. That would have been really good. She could have had 50, 60, 100,000 followers on Instagram, and she could have started monetizing that and making some money off the back of it. But no, just one of those things she's given up on. Yeah, another thing she gave up on was golf. She's mega at golf. You know, she started to play golf when she was sort of 12, 13. Our house backs onto the Rollers Castle golf club. So we've got an 18-hole golf club literally on the other side of the fence, which we can just walk on and use whenever we want. So she always had a golf club in her hand. You know, our garden's quite big, so we could do a 9-iron from front to back quite easily. And Jemima's swing is absolutely perfect. Perfect. She can hit a 7-iron over 100 yards, dead straight, almost 90% of the time. Amazing. You know, the golf instructor at Rollins Castle, Peter, he said he's never had a young girl hit a ball like this before. He used to coach her for free because she had so much potential. But, you know, she did about 2 or 3 years golf lessons, and guess what? Nah. The terrible teens kicked in, and she doesn't want to hit another golf ball. I said she's absolutely mental. You know, she's a beautiful looking girl. She's tall, blonde. She could have been a fantastic brand if she could win some amateur competitions, and she looked good and she hit the ball well and she was a nice personality. She could have earned money off the back of her golf. I am convinced. You know, being sponsored by Nike or Adidas, travelling around the country, earning bits of money. Nah, no. She would rather be on her phone, on Snapchat, talking a load of rubbish to her friends. And probably, you know, she's coming up 15, it's going to be about boys, isn't it? How do you lot cope with this? You know, are boys different? You know, I've only got a daughter, but are boys different? At the moment, it's really hard. You know, she's calmed down a bit, but her poor old mum gets it in the ear. You know, it's like a battle. You know, Jemima has gone to a few lovely schools in her short little life, and you know, private schools where it's costing me fortunes, but she never got on with her people. So now we've taken her out, and you know, after much consideration, we've put her into a nice normal school in a little village called in Petersfield in Hampshire. And do you know what? The kids and the parents are so much nicer. You know, we should have done it years ago. So much nicer, and she's getting on with everyone at school. Hallelujah. You know, that's all we want, is a bit of happiness, education. You know, Jemima's never going to be a rocket scientist. She's like me. She, you know, I found it very, 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 very difficult to focus at school. You know, what the teacher said, it used to go in there and out there instantly. She's the same. She finds it hard to pay attention, and you know. But when I was a kid, remember, I was into my BMXing. You know, practice every day of my life. I used to bunk off school, and my mum used to write me letters to give to the school to say I wasn't very well. That's bad. But, you know, my dad died 2 years before, when I was sort of 10 years old. So when I got into BMXing, you know, this is a positive for me. So I used to practice every day of my life, and in the end, you know, I became one of the British champions. So it did me well. And I stuck at that until I was 15, 16, 17 years old. And guess what? I got into girls and drink, and I left that, as I said in my little story, one of my YouTube channels before. But yeah, you know, social media and these kids, yeah, if they could only focus and not waste time on it, you know, don't spend 6 hours a day just talking shit on it. Do something positive and create a brand, you know. But yeah, these kids just don't listen. Bloody hell. So just coming into Putney now. This week should be a good week. Fingers crossed. There's some money coming in off a big deal. Bloody pray for that anyway, because, you know, things aren't always great. Everyone's like peddling this under the water to try and get momentum. You know, as I said, being an entrepreneur, it's all down to you. It's up to you to pull it out of the bag all the time. It's not your staff, it's not your family's fault, it's your fault if it all goes tits up. So I'm meeting Bruce at 12:30. One of his buddies is selling a house which is off market, and it needs everything doing to it. So we're still putting deals together to get some investment, so we can start a little pipeline of refurbishment opportunities as a sort of separate thing. So this week or next week we should find a deal, and we got a few opportunities for investors as well. What else is going to happen? Got a viewing tomorrow with a lady. She wants a full refurb on a house, and hopefully going to close a few of these bloody deals. It's like pulling teeth out. Why do these people take so long to decide who they want to go with? Never used to be like this. It used to be easy. We used to walk in there, talk to the client, talk about the job, send over the quote, job done. Now, no, it's taken so long. Yeah, having your brand, excellent, having credibility and track record, perfect, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to price. And in this market, people are trying to hold on to as much money as possible, which I can understand, but new projects is all about value, quality of service, and the actual product we deliver. Our team is, it's full of professionals who are very well trained, excellent track record, and love what they do. So they don't come for nothing. And usually, if people say to us, "Oh, we've got a cheaper quote," well, you can't convince the unconvincible, can you? If they want a quality service and they want to have their project delivered on time, well, we are the people for the job. If they want to go with a man in the van who's probably nicked the items, and their labour and trades are below average, go with them. We can't compete with that, and we wouldn't want to compete with that. This is new projects. This is a brand which we can rely on. So anyway, I've been talking for 12, nearly 13 minutes. Stay positive, work hard, and don't forget to subscribe and like my YouTube channel, and follow me on Insta and Twitter. And listen, I'll catch up with you hopefully tomorrow or the next day with a few updates. Have a good one, and I'll speak to you later on. See ya.